crafters. We're excited to be here with you today for a paper doll art journal class.
Yes, this is one of our favorite monthly series where we're building up our paper doll journal book and making fun pages with our favorites, the paper dolls.
And today we're going to be doing the Nature Girl.
I can hardly wait. So Nature Girl is kind of a newer sticker, but a whole different take. So last time we did it for the club, which was a while ago, it was a fall, and now she's kind of a spring girl, right?
She's beautiful, perfect for April, and she has some really cute companions on this page too.
Yes, indeed. So my name is Kara.
And my name is Jackie.
And we are the mother-daughter team here at Krazy Kreations, and we're here to have fun with our paper doll art journal.
Yes, so I'm excited to get started, but before we show you this beautiful doll art journal page, what are the supplies that we need to have handy?
So you need your kit, and there is a Nature Girl kit. Now, if you haven't gotten that yet and you want to watch along, that's great because we do have more that we just loaded up on the inventory. So if you want to get part of this doll art journal experience, welcome aboard. And then of course a basic toolkit, which is a paper trimmer, scissors, tweezers, adhesive, and did I leave anything out? Sometimes a ruler.
Are we using markers?
Of course.
Okay, so you'll need some markers so we can color her hair and her skin. Other than that, you just need your creativity, maybe a cup of coffee, and we're gonna have some fun today.
We are. So shall we look at our project?
Okay, let's do it. There we go. All right, so here we have our journal. So we don't have the page showing, we have the journal.
Right, so this is a pretty book from Simple Stories. We sell them in two different colors. We have the robin's egg and we have the black stripe. So robin's egg, striped, black striped. And what I love about these are that they're really well made. They have a place where you can label. I need to do that. You need to remind me, Jackie. I should say doll art. And they are a ring system. Now they have these reinforcements, which I think is really a nice feature, so that nothing kind of tears or rips. And then you open it up, and I love the dots. But here are our pages, and again, the ring system from Simple Stories, and then they have these awesome page protectors, which are in fact, our pages are 8.5 by 6. Isn't that nice?
Yes, so let's flip back to the Nature Girl so we can see what we're making today.
We can, but I like to look at all the girls.
We do that every time.
I know, I love it. So this is Audrey, our very first girl. Now we give names to our girls, right?
Right.
And so that was Audrey. Then we have Marina, which is so cute. And then is this Brent or Brett?
I can't remember.
Okay, well, it's a casual guy. Isn't he cute with his little car? And then we had Home for the Holidays, and this was Noel, I believe.
Holly Noel.
Holly Noel, a hyphenated name. And then we had
Jackie or Jacqueline.
I wanted you to say that, Jackie, because it reminded me of you with little Apollo. And then we had our last month's
April,
and now we have the Nature Girl. So here we are. So we need to name this girl so she's not the Nature Girl. She actually has a name. So are we going to do a poll?
We are. We usually do that later on in the video. So if you have any ideas, keep them saved until later on in the video.
Yes, isn't she darling? So that's our book for now, and you can see how easy it was for me to just pull that out. We do sell the page protectors along with the books, so if you're just getting started, you'll want to get your book, right?
Right, and we have the robin's egg blue, and we also have black and white stripe.
Okay, so this is the kit that the Nature Girl came in. And I love that because everything should pretty much be in here but those basic tools and our markers. Okay, so we'll take it out, and shall we take a little look-see? So every kit will come with the photo, so this really helps you kind of see where everything goes, along with written instructions, so that kind of guides you how to put this page together. And you can always replay us, right?
Yes, you can replay us however many times you want, whenever you want.
Okay, so then you have all the pieces back here, and we're going to be using them all. So I do want to notate that there is a die cut in here, so you'll want to be a little bit careful. And then we have all these stickers. So what kind of stickers do we have?
All right, so we have our vinyl black outline stickers. We have the line of roses right here, a brand new sticker to Krazy Kreations. Then we have our bunny peeps. So these are the cute little bunnies. And then we have our nature girl. So this is the girl with all of her clothing and accessories.
Yes, and then this is the matching chip to that sticker, right?
Yes, so it fits perfectly. The sticker will fit perfectly on here.
Yes, so there we go. So we're going to start by making all of the guts, which will be the paper part. And this craft paper here is going to be the background for it. So we're going to start with that. Sound like a plan?
Sounds good. So just to repeat, we are doing all of the background and the scenery, and then we'll do the doll after.
Yes, we'll save the best for last.
Okay.
Okay, so to get started, we're going to use our paper trimmer here, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to have to cut some papers. So I'm going to let you try to find those cuts for me, all right?
Okay, so the first piece we need to cut is the craft cardstock, and that's what we have ready to go in our paper trimmer here. And it wants us to cut it at 6 inches by 8.5 inches.
Okay, so my paper trimmer only goes to 5.5, so I need to do 6 inches. So this is a regular 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. So I'm going to trim off 5 inches because 11 minus 5 is
6.
6, which is where we want to go, right?
Right.
So, but the paper does have to be 6 by 8.5, correct?
Correct. That's what the instructions say.
All right, and let's just make sure, yes, my math was correct. Sometimes I do know things, Jackie. So this piece is a scrap piece, and we're not going to be using it. So right now we have a 6 inch by 8.5 inch piece of paper.
Okay, so the next thing we need is the blue pattern paper. So it's this beautiful gingham pattern. And we need to cut that to 5 3/4 by 6 inches.
Okay, so 5 3/4 by 6 inches. So this is already 6, and we need to cut off 1/4 inch, right?
Right.
So there we go. So when you know you did it right, if this lays right in here and you have a bit of a matting. Let's see if I could show you that. There we go. You see how you have a bit of a matting? So 5 3/4 by 6.
Okay. Now we need the green striped paper.
All right, right here.
Okay, so that one is going to be 5 3/4.
All right, and I just want to notate that this is going to be used here on the bottom. Okay,
And
I'm going to cut off 1/4 inch to get 5 3/4. Got it?
And then it's going to be 3 inches tall.
All right, 3 inches. And it really doesn't matter which way the stripes go, right?
Right.
Okay.
Okay, let me see here. And another piece. Okay, so we need another piece of the green striped paper, 5 3/4 by 2 inches.
All right, so the same piece, we're going to go ahead and do the 2 inches. I just want to get that straight. And there we go.
Okay, so I think we've cut all of our paper.
So shall we review our paper cuts?
Yes, let's do that. So the first one was the craft paper, and that was 6 inches by 8.5 inches, so that's this piece right here. Then we had the blue gingham pattern paper, 5 3/4 by 6 inches.
So 6, 5 3/4, okay.
And then we cut the first one of the green stripe is 5 3/4 by 3 inches.
3 inches this way.
And then the second piece for the green striped paper was 5 3/4 by 2 inches.
2 inches. Okay, got it.
All right, so now we're done with our paper trimmer, but now it says that we need to create some curves on this green paper.
Okay, so we have provided you a template if you find it easier to use that, or you can freehand it, because you could kind of see you're just going to do something like that. But if you feel more comfortable with the template, we've provided that. So it looks like we're going to do this on both.
Yes, so we want to create that nice little hillside effect on both pieces of our green striped paper.
Now you know, here's a little trick. I bet we could turn this over. Do you think we could get the same look if we do it this way? I think so. So I'm going to do it that way, and I'm going to cheat. I'm going to put some temporary tape, just very little of my tape, and I'm going to turn this over, and I'm going to cut it this way. Because, you know, this is all about learning different technique, right?
Right, so can you repeat what you're going to do?
Yeah, I turned my paper over because I didn't want to put the tape on the right side, you know?
Okay.
And I'm just going to match this up, and then I'm going to follow this on the wrong side, but then when I turn it over, it's going to have a curve.
Okay, so instead of cutting this out of the white and then cutting it again, you're just cutting it both at one time.
I am, because I believe in efficient crafting. What do you think?
Sounds good to me. Has anyone tried this technique before? Let us know in the comments.
Okay, so now when I take this off, look, I have my curve.
Oh, very nice.
And I'm going to do the same to this piece.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm just going to turn this over, match it up. It really doesn't matter as long as you have a curve, I think. So don't, you know, get too worried about it, okay? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to trim. I just think it's better than a straight edge. What do you think?
I agree. I think it really adds a nice touch. It makes it more like a scenery.
Yep, and there we go. Okay, now can I jump in here for a minute?
Okay.
So if you were to look very closely, maybe you could hold that up. And if you hold that up, you're going to see there's like a darker line right there. And a lot of times people will use their like ink pad to get that. And what I did was I used our marker. So I'm going to show a little trick how to kind of make this really stand out here. Okay?
All right.
So can I have our E28?
Sure. So that is the Right Art number E28. So it's kind of a medium brown color.
Yes, and I'm going to use the brush tip, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to very carefully, I'm just going to add that detail by going along the paper here. And you could do this, like I said, with an ink pad, but don't you think that's kind of nice that it adds that color?
Yeah, and you know what? When you put both of the pattern papers next to each other, it's going to separate them to your eye.
Yes, and that's kind of why I want to do this. Now, I picked brown, but you could pick any color, you know, that you want.
Green.
Yep.
What other colors would you pick?
Well, you could do the olive green or the darker brown, the E18 if you wanted. You could do black.
Gray.
Yeah, gray. But see how you could really see those lines now?
Yeah, for sure.
What do you think?
I think that looks good.
Okay, so now, next up, I think we're going to start putting these pieces together, right?
Right.
So we're going to go ahead, and this is going to go toward the top, so I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to use my tape roller.
So we're using the Tombow Mono Adhesive dot roller. It's our favorite here at Krazy Kreations because you can actually reposition your paper if you need to.
Yes, if you're like me, I make mistakes, so I like to just kind of make sure I can pick it back up. So that's why I like it, personally. Now you're just going to want to leave a little bit of edging all the way around.
Or matting.
Or matting, yes, whatever you want to call it. And there we go. All right, so which one are we going to do? It looks like the 3-inch fits pretty darn good down here. Is that what we want to do? I think so.
Yep. So we're going to adhere the 3-inch hillside piece to the craft paper.
Now I got to tell you, we're going to put this one down, but the next one, don't go ahead of me yet because I want to give you a trick, okay? All right, what do you think? That looks good, don't you think?
Yeah, looks good.
Now, this one, if you notice, when we go to do the die cut, it's going to tuck under there a little, so you don't really want to put a lot of tape right here, okay? So don't put a lot of tape right here because that's where the tree might tuck under.
Okay.
So I'm off camera, but I'm just putting my little tape down, and then we're going to just kind of do this. Okay? Now, if you wanted to push this up a little bit, you could. And so this is why I like my Tombow. I just want everyone to know why I love it. Oh, wow. I wish that was a little higher. Do you see how I did that, Jackie?
I do. So let me put this here so we can kind of match that.
But, I mean, you don't have to. It's going to look good any other way, but I'm here to show you my little tips and tricks, right?
Right. So because we're layering a second piece on here, you're not going to see the one behind it. So you can move it up if you want to.
So if you don't have this Tombow, I say get it. Isn't that nice how I did that?
Very nice. No one would even know.
No. So what's next? Are we going to put our tree in?
Yes, let's do the tree.
Okay. So again, I think it's a good idea to do that little edging with the brown, and you just have to be really careful. And if you'd rather do it with an ink pad or not do it at all, that's fine with me and Jackie, right?
Yeah, so this is your work of art, and it's your creativity. So go for whatever you want to do on your piece. I know a lot of you like to follow our example, though.
Yeah, and I just like this because I want that edge, you know. I just really want to be able to see that. And if, you know, I had an ink pad, I might do it that way, but I have these markers, so why not take advantage? Okay.
So
You don't have to do the brown, by the way, because that's already brown, right?
Right, lots of contrast on the brown. So we're gonna adhere the brown tree trunk to the green part of the tree.
So we're going to do the tree first, and as you can see, it's pushed up pretty far up here to the edge and over to the side to give lots of room. So however you want it, but I'm going to go ahead and do it a bit like that. So I'm going on to my craft paper, okay?
I like how this whole scenery is kind of like she's at a park or something.
I know, it's so cute. And the little rabbits just kind of are joining the party, aren't they?
They are. Do we need to name the rabbits too?
Ooh, maybe that would be fun. Yeah, let's do that.
I already have 2 rabbit names in mind.
Okay, so now the tree here. So you're going to want to make sure that the tree, you know, you could have it either way, but the way that it was cut is that this one here, the longer one, goes on the left, okay? I'm going to have to take this off so I don't get it on my paper. So you could hear me rolling. That's really what I'm doing.
We're just applying adhesive to our tree trunk.
All right, so now if we have this kind of, I think, like that, what do you think, okay? You can see how this part has to kind of go under. So I'm going to use my tweezers and kind of lift this part up and stick it under.
So you're just going to tuck the bottom of that tree trunk in between the 2 pieces of paper.
There we go. What do you think?
How cute.
Okay, so we got that part, and now you're up. What's next?
Okay, I wasn't prepared. Sentiment sticker.
Okay, so let's go ahead and open up our girl.
Okay, so I'm going to grab our outline sticker. And it has packaging on it, so that's why it's so shiny here. We're going to open this up so we can use the sticker.
And while you're doing that, I'm going to open the rabbit just so we have it.
Alright, so now our sticker has been opened. We can see that the sentiment is actually right at the top here, and it says, "Hooray for today." How cute. So we're going to peel that, and we're going to place it right over here on our page. So what we like to do is we like to use our fine pointed tweezers. And I'm just going to grab the sentiment with the tweezers, peel it up, and then I like to reposition it so that my tweezers are in the center of the word. That way I have more control over it.
Now I wanted to point out you want it up as top as, up to the edge of that blue paper so you have plenty of room for your girl. And if you're not sure, stick the chipboard down just for placement. So if we were to take the chip girl, you could kind of see what the placement might be. Okay?
Okay. So now we're going to peel the word for right here. And this looks like it goes right here, but I'm not gonna rub them down yet because I like to make sure that they're all gonna fit, and then I will rub them down with my fingers. So now I'm working on peeling the word today. I'm going to place the word in the middle of my tweezers, and now I'm going to see if that word fits.
So you could kind of see why, with this little D in there, but I think that looks really good. I like it.
Me too.
You don't always have to be even, right?
Right. So now that I like where my words are, I'm going to take my finger and I'm just going to rub over the sentiment sticker so that I know that it's not going to come off.
And you can see how sometimes we do deviate from the sample ourselves, right?
Yep, we do a little bit.
Okay, so I believe we need to put this border down here on.
Okay, so the border sticker can also be found on the Nature Girl outline sticker sheet, and it's on the right side of the sticker all the way across. Okay, so we're going to slowly peel that, starting at one side. I love this. It kind of reminds me of like a telephone cord.
I know, it does look like that. I just looked at it as a doodle, but it does look like a telephone cord.
So you can see that these are really durable, and you can just kind of use two hands or one hand, and you can manipulate it. So we're actually going to put it at the bottom of our page and follow the line of that green pattern paper. So pressing as you like the placement.
Yeah, just take your time. I think the scene is coming together. What do you think?
I can't wait until we do those leaves. So pretty. All right.
All right, and then we're going to go ahead and trim, right?
Yeah, so you're going to have a tail on the end of your border. So we're just going to trim that with some scissors. And voila. So run your finger over that border sticker, just so we know it's not going anywhere and it's nice and flat.
That looks so cool. I love it. So what do you think?
Looks really good.
Okay, what's next? I think we're going to be working with our glitter paper.
Okay, it actually says to peel the line of roses stems.
Oh, yes. So we could do that. So again, I really suggest you put your chipboard girl as a marker just to kind of see where you're going to want these line of roses. Now, here's the thing about the line of roses. This is a brand new sticker right here. And these rose tops are not hooked to the stem. Okay, so they are separate. So if we go ahead and we peel, what's going to happen is all of these stems are coming up. And then on our scene, they're individual. So what we're going to do is I suggest you hold it and do one at a time. We're going to take our scissors and you're just going to trim off the bottom and separate it. And it's also going to be separated by a leaf. Okay, there's the first one. Where do we want this one?
Okay, let's put it.
There you go.
Okay, I get to decide.
Yeah, we can follow our sample, right?
Right. All right.
Let's get this piece off. There we go.
First one, I'm going to put it over here on the left side of the page.
Now, is that a small one or a large one? There are two sizes of the stems.
Large.
Okay, so a large one, a large one. You can see this is a small one, right? So shall we do that next?
Okay, small one.
All right, so again, you're going to come in, you're going to separate it, and I believe I cut the bottom. I'll let you put that down.
All right, so that one is going to go on this right side of the tree.
Isn't this cool how I thought of separating these?
I think it's really cute. All right, there you go.
So what I love to show people is you don't always have to use our stickers the way they are designed. You can make them different, right?
Right, you can alter them.
Okay. Should we have this one go more like this?
Sure.
Okay. And then I'll give you the next two. So I don't know if you want those. But we have two more to go. So how many would that make all together, Jackie?
5. We have to do things in odds.
All right.
And it looks like we got a line here. I'm going to pick that up.
Okay, so here is this one.
And that one's going to go by her feet, so make sure your doll is where you want it.
And we have one more, so we only have to take the bottom off. And if you wanted that line, you could have used it, right?
Yes, and make sure you're leaving room for your bunnies. Okay, so they're going to go right here. So this flower is going to go right there.
All right. Yay, we got all that done. Isn't that cool? We're just moving along here. All right, so what's next?
Now we are going to work with the white glitter paper.
I'm going to move yours just a little bit more over for that rose part to fit. There we go.
So if you look at our page now, you'll see we kind of have the guts done. We've got all the paper down. We've got the tree down. We've got our border sticker, sentiment, and flower stems. So what's left here is all of these glitter piece elements. So we're going to do those next.
Yeah, so we're going to do the flower, the roses, the bunnies, the leaves, birds, dragonfly, right?
Right.
Okay, and the girl we are saving for last. All right, so we have our glitter paper, and shall I move this for now?
Yeah, so let's move that off to the side. So here we have our Krazy Kreations microfine glitter paper. It's handmade by the Krazy crew. So the first thing we need to do is rub or burnish the glitter paper to make it nice and soft. So we're going to rub in circles. You can also go back and forth. And so I'm going to turn so I can get that one corner better. So that is going to make it velvety smooth. You can also give it a little tap if you want. You'll notice if you go back to touch it now, you don't get any glitter on your hand.
Okay, so then remember these roses that are here? That's the part that we're going to color. So we need to now peel these off and put them on the glitter paper, right?
Yes, so we're going to peel the rose buds.
Yeah, the rose
The flower
buds.
part.
I know.
And we need to learn our flower anatomy.
And see how that all comes up just like this? Isn't that cool? Put that in there. So we need 5 of those, right?
Yeah, we need 5 flowers.
Okay.
So you actually are going to have a lot of roses left over on your sticker sheet.
Absolutely. And I suspect you're going to have a lot of glitter paper too. So that means you can make more projects. Correct?
Right.
Now, how many dragonflies are we going to need?
We're going to need 3. It looks like you followed the rule of odds, except on the bunnies.
I know, but a bunny, it comes in pairs, right?
Yep, they sure do.
Sometimes lots of pairs, multiple pairs. All right, so shall we go ahead and just color these and the dragonfly because we'll have to cut them out.
Okay, so we need 3 dragonflies, and those can be found.
Well, there's one on here. Is there any on there?
I have 1. How many do you have?
I think I have 2 per... Yeah, so there's 2 with this, but there's actually a lot more if you went down.
Okay.
So you see this dark little part? I don't think we should put that on our glitter paper because who wants to fussy cut that?
Nobody.
So let's just go ahead and do this.
So we're
hanging it off, okay?
Hanging the body off.
Yeah. So I'm going to get these 2. Should I steal one from another line of roses or what?
I think we should use the one on the Nature Girl sheet because it's a little larger.
Okay. All right. And there we go. Do you want to do the leaves and the birds while we're at it?
Yeah, let's peel them all.
Okay. So the leaves are found right here on the Nature Girl. There's 1, 2, and then there's 3. So we're taking these smaller ones right here, okay? These seem a little large for the tree, wouldn't you agree?
I agree, but I do think they're beautiful.
They are.
They've got those mandala swirls inside of them.
And again, if you notice, these have a stem on them that we don't need to fussy cut. So we're going to let that hang over, right?
Good idea.
All right, so there's 1. I guess I'll start this way, right? Am I on the screen?
Yes, we're looking good.
And these seem like they'll be simple. Lots of simple cutting, really. Simple, simple, right?
Yes.
Okay, now, the bird, is that all we have left?
Yes, the bird.
And the bird is found here on the Nature Girl as well, right up here at the top.
Yeah, upper left corner.
Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and look at that. I got a spot for it.
And yeah, the little branch is also off the edge of the glitter paper.
Okay.
Should we just peel the bunnies?
Oh, okay, let's just keep going. So which bunnies do you want to use? Do you want to talk about this? There seems to be 3. So it looks like the ones that were used is they have a straight ear up and a crooked ear, and then the straight ear on the opposite side and a crooked ear. Do you want to go with that?
Let's go with those.
Okay.
It doesn't really matter if you wanted to switch that up, but we'll just stay consistent. How is everybody doing so far? Give us a thumbs up on the video if we're going at a good pace and you're having fun.
Okay, there's that. And I'm going to do the other one. Well, I got to tell you, I'm having fun. Now, there's one thing that's missing that I didn't peel. Do you know what it is?
The tail.
Yep, we need the little tail.
So the tail is actually a separate piece on the bunny, so it's not connected to the body.
Right, so you're going to have to go in here and get that tail. And I'm trying to maximize, so I'm going to put it right there. Are we going to color that? It looks like we are going to add a little blue, aren't we?
Yeah, it looks like we are. But wow, look at all this extra glitter paper that you have.
So did we get everything that's supposed to be glittered? Do you want to take an inventory right there of the sample?
Yes, so I think we got everything down that we needed, but let's take a quick look. So we have our flowers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That checks out. We needed 3 leaves. 1, 2, 3. We needed 1 bird. We needed 3 dragonflies, 2 bunnies, and 2 tails. 2 bunnies, 2 tails.
All right, we got it. So all of this is going to be extra glitter paper.
Wow, so generous.
So, okay, so now, are you the colorist today?
Oh, I can be, but I do think you should color those beautiful roses because that's your favorite color.
Okay, shall we start there or you want to start with the bunnies?
Let's start with the roses.
Okay.
So, if I'm correct, you're using these 2 colors?
I am not. I think it says on the instructions, by the way, in case you didn't know that, for those of you who like to follow along, it says the rose flower tops R03 and Y10.
Okay, so R03 is a light red, Y10 is a bright yellow.
Yes, so light red, bright yellow gives you apricot. What do you think about that?
I love this color.
I know, me too. So I'm going to start with the red, light red, and I'm going to go in here, and I didn't burnish these down. Sorry, I forgot. So you should just give it a good rub to make sure they're down, okay? I forgot that step because I was so excited about the coloring. And because they're small, you know, you don't have to worry too much. And then if you go back in here and you add this yellow, you get that beautiful peach. Isn't that pretty?
So I'm just going to repeat. So what you did is you put the R03 over the entire rose.
I did, which I'm doing now. And I'm going to do all of them because they're so small.
And then you highlighted the part you wanted yellow just in the certain spots.
I did. Isn't that pretty?
Very pretty, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit more so we can see that beautiful coloring.
I just think that's all it really needs. What do you think?
It's gorgeous. Now I know there's a rose with these colors in it, but I forget what it's called.
I almost think it's called the Lucille Ball. Now if you want to go back, you could add a little bit more of that R03 and just give it a little bit of personality. But look at that. Isn't that pretty?
Very pretty.
Okay.
And that was so fast.
So fast. Now let's do these leaves.
Okay, so for the leaves, we need a light green and a dark green. So I believe that it is YG00.
And YG29.
I'm missing a YG00.
Oh, I think it's right here.
Okay, got it. So these two colors right here. And I like to start out by using the dark color first, so that would be the YG29. So if we look at our sample here, the darkest part of the leaves is actually kind of near the stem. So that's where I'm going to apply the dark green first, and then we'll blend it out towards the tip of the leaf. All right. So there we go. We're using YG29. I just love the pattern inside of these leaves. I'm going to do 2 leaves at once. So I put down the YG29, the dark green. Now I'm going to go in with my light green, YG00. Going to put the marker on the edge of where that YG29 ends, and I'm dragging it to the tip of the leaf. And I love that squeaky marker sound we get. Beautiful.
I know, I do like it too because it means you're doing a good job.
And so we've done 2 and we have 1 more to go, so we're going to repeat that on the last leaf.
Squeak, squeak.
And then we'll use our YG00 to blend that out. And there we go. Very beautiful. So now we have that shading from light, medium to dark.
Really pretty. Now, we might as well do the bird. And the bird, it is recommended that we use Y10 and YR18, which is a darker orange, right?
Yes, so let me grab that. Here you go.
Okay, so we're going to use the dark yellow and the dark orange. And basically the bird isn't real large, so we're just going to go ahead and add the orange. You could shade if you want, but I don't think it's real necessary. So that's where the dark orange is going. And here's where, look at, I have all these pieces everywhere. And
that's a piece of a
Y10.
sticker.
So I'm putting the Y10 here and the dark orange there. Isn't that a pretty bird?
Very pretty.
Okay, so now shall we do the dragonflies and then work our way to the rabbits?
Yes, so the rabbits are going to have the most shading. So we're getting the smaller pieces out of the way first.
All right, so we have 2 of the dragonflies we're using blue, B02 and B09.
All right, So that you can see what those look like, here are the blues.
And we did a large and a small in those. Do you want to do that? There's not a lot of detail really to do because the area is small, right?
Okay, then I'm going to use my fine nib. So on your marker you have this really fine nib, perfect for small areas. So I'm going to do the larger dragonfly with the B09 just in the corners, and then a small one. Then I'll take my B02, the light blue. I want to grab that fine nib again, and then blend it out. Very small coloring. There we go.
And then we're going to come in with this YR18 on that third one, and I'm going to put it close to the body. And then we're going to do the Y10, just to kind of bring that orange back up, right?
Yes, so we're blending the yellow with the orange.
All right, there we go.
And now we've colored everything except for the bunnies. We're moving right along.
We are. Now those bunnies are going to be the grays, which is the light dark gray CG02, CG06, and 00, which is a colorless blender. Now, by the way, a little note on these markers, all of these colors can be found in our 24 pack, right?
Right, we try to stick to that for most of our projects. Of course, we do like to go outside of that sometimes.
We do. And I do want to just bring to your attention that we are going to want BO2 for the little tails.
Okay. So, did we use all three of those grays for the body? The two grays in the colorless blender?
Yes.
Okay. So, what we're going to do is I'm going to start from dark to light. So, I have my colors in order here. CG06 is the darkest color, so we're going to apply that to the shadowed areas. Then we'll blend that out with the CG02, the mid-tone, and then we will finish it off with the 00, which is a colorless blender, and that's going to soften any harsh lines. Okay, so now that we know what we're doing, let's do it.
Yay!
All right, this is Monica's first time using her 24 set.
Oh, I'm so excited for you, Monica.
So first thing I'm going to do is start out with the ears, and I'm on that CG06. So I'm going to add a little bit of dark to the base of the ear, and then the other ear. And let's do all the ears, okay? They're small. Then we're going to use our CG02. And by the way, Monica, there's nothing like coloring with fresh markers.
Yes,
I love it.
When they're brand new, it's great.
So now I'm going to just come in here with the CG02 where that CG06 stopped. And I'm going to drag that color up.
Now, what kind of pressure are you using?
Light to medium pressure.
Look how well that blending is.
Beautiful. And then to just get rid of that line where the CG02 ended, we're going to take our 00 and we're just going to fade out that line.
So I think the perfect combination is coloring with our alcohol ink markers and the Krazy Kreation glitter paper. It's so easy, right?
It blends so nice.
And of course you want those outline stickers.
Right. So now we're going to do the body. So I'm going to do one bunny at a time. So the first thing we want to do is grab our dark color, CG06. And I'm going to put a little bit of a shadow by his head. I'm calling it a him. And then by the feet. And then we're going to take the CG02, the light gray, and we're going to blend that out. So I'm coming up to the head area, dragging the dark color down into the head.
Now I noticed Jackie's not bothering putting the caps back on because as you're using the markers, you can't keep the caps off because they won't dry out, right?
Right. Now a tip for you is give some variation where your marker colors are ending. Don't do just a flat line like that. You want the shadows to make their way kind of in an organic way so it doesn't look fake, right?
Yeah, meaning you don't want a straight line straight across.
Correct. Now that we have our mid-tone down, we're going to use our 00 marker to blend out the harsh lines.
And you probably put a little bit more pressure on that, right?
Yeah, I do. Larger areas equal more pressure. And because we're blending. Now,
very nice.
If you think there's a little too much white in the middle of the bunny, you can always add that CG02 where you think it needs a little more shading. You can even do it in dot pattern.
But don't forget you're going to add the tail.
Yes, but I think that looks really cute.
I love it.
So now we're going to do the next bunny. We're going to repeat what we just did. And we're going to kind of copy that same pattern with the shadows. So we're going to put some dark on the head.
And just so you know, it's okay to have empty white spots, right?
Yes.
The gray really represents shadow.
And then we're going to use the light gray, CG02. And we're only dragging that color out. I'm not pushing it back in. So I'm flicking it into the center of the rabbit. Making sure we don't want any straight lines. Then we're going to use the 00. And we're going to blend out that line where the CG02 stopped. And that really softens that shadow up. And then if you want to add a little more of that light gray color, CG02, you can just kind of add some little dotted areas while that ink is still wet. So cute.
Very, very cute. So I'm going to start the cutting out process and you can follow along while Jackie keeps us entertained with little tidbits.
Oh, great. So Kara's putting me on the spot here.
Oh, you could do it.
Okay, what do we think of our bunnies' names? Have we thought of any bunny names for these two adorable bunny rabbits? Let me know in the comments what your ideas are.
Yeah, so you said you have an idea. What would they be?
Well, I know 3 pet bunnies, so I actually have 3 ideas, but they're all real life bunnies. So I know a bunny named Butternut, but these ones don't look like a butternut to me.
No, they're kind of gray. Butternut is kind of tan, right?
Right. And then my bunnies' names were Thumper.
Were? What does that mean?
Well, Thumper passed away on the Rainbow Bridge. He went over the bridge. And then Bonaparte, or Bo.
Yeah, we call him Bo. He was a guest not too long ago.
He was. He's a black rabbit.
Yeah, so what is the kind of rabbit you have?
I have a Netherland dwarf rabbit. So that means he's really small. He's only 2.5 pounds. He's got tiny little ears. But he is a mature adult rabbit. He's actually 7 years old.
So if we had, changing subject, I love Bonaparte, by the way. If we had a scan and cut, could we be cutting these that way?
Yes, definitely.
So if you don't have the Brother Scan and Cut, wow, that just saves a lot of fussy cutting. And let me tell you, it's not just for our product. It's for stamps and all that stuff. You don't have to buy dies anymore. So by the time you think about how much these dies are for stamp sets, you can easily buy the Brother Scan and Cut, right?
Yes, and I love that you can cut these stickers out using that machine. It's a time saver.
It is.
So Heather is saying she is going to recommend we name them Daisy and Thumper.
I like that Daisy name. That's really quite cute.
And I know earlier Diana recommended we call the doll Rose.
Oh, I've never had that. That's kind of an interesting name.
Well, I think it works with these roses we have here.
I agree. I was just thinking that. You know what, guys? We need to start creating stories for our girls. Like, what is Rose really doing today? Is she enjoying a beautiful spring day and runs into her two friends, Daisy and Thumper? I think it'd be fun to make a book to go in our journal. What do you think?
It's fun to let your imagination go.
Yeah. Okay, so I have all my roses cut. So I will tell you some of my tricks about cutting. If you are somebody who doesn't like fussy cutting, it's not always my favorite. It's okay. But I need smaller pieces because I can't just cut with one large piece. What about you, Jack?
Yeah, I separate everything first, and then I find myself rotating my paper and keeping my scissors in place.
Yes, now I am using these larger Tim Holtz scissors. We have the fussy cut ones that I really like as well. But today I grabbed these. I don't know why.
Because you wanted to.
I guess so. But I mean, I use both. Do you use both, or do you primarily use the fussy cut?
I like the small ones.
Yeah, and we have those in stock, right?
We do. They have a black handle. They're really comfortable on your hand. And then Kara pointed this out to me the other day. So one side of the scissor blades is serrated and the other side is not. So if you don't like serrated lines on your images, flip the scissors the opposite way.
Yeah, I thought that was fascinating. I like to give her fascinating tidbits. But it's true, you can have either or, whichever way you want it. Now, they also don't really pick up a lot of the tape. So if you do get a little bit, they're kind of like that non-stick thing, but they're better than that, I think. And you could always use that glue be gone, right?
Goo Gone?
Goo Gone.
Is that what it's called? Or Undo?
Undo. Now I have my roses and my 3 leaves. Wasn't that fast? See, having this stuff hang off really helps. If you didn't have it hang off, what you could do is pick it up with your tweezers, right?
Yeah, you could, and then cut underneath the sticker. But this is a little bit easier.
Yep.
So we're just trimming out our little robin.
And then I have my bunnies and dragonflies.
You can also call her Robin.
Yeah, there you go. Now, I believe I cut this part off. Do you want to cut this part off, this little branch?
Yeah, let's do that. So if we look at our picture, you'll notice there's a leaf in front of the bird's feet. So we're not going to see that anyway.
All right, there's the bird. Look how fast I'm going. Are you proud of me?
Yeah, that's great. Oh, you know what we forgot to color?
What? Oh, the little...
the bunny tails.
Yeah. How could you forget that?
She even reminded me, and I still forgot.
Okay. I'll let you color that while I'm cutting these guys out.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of light blue, BO2, to just one side of the tail, and then we'll blend it out, soften it up with that 00 color. Now make sure that on your 00 you have a nice clean marker tip, okay? So let's do it. Got my BO2. We just want a little bit. This is just going to create a nice little contrasting shadow for us. And now we're going to take that 00 and we're just going to fade out that line. And look, beautiful. I like to do this color combination on clouds too. All right, so now we've colored the tails.
Now, I just made a boo-boo, Jackie. Have you ever made one of those?
Never.
I cut my little tail of my dragonfly off here. So what I'm going to do is stick it there and then we'll piece it together because it's a sticker so you won't know, right?
Right.
So it is something else you could do if that happened to you. Okay, so I'm almost done with the dragonfly. So there's one. So are we good to cut the rabbits out?
We are. Now Penny Blaylock is here. She says this is her second coloring project with her new Right Art markers, and I spoke to Penny on the phone, so I already know that she's really enjoying them.
Well, wonderful, Penny. I'm really glad that you got those. Now, did you get the 24 set, Penny?
I believe she did. And she got some more.
Woo.
So now it's going to be a slow process of building up your entire collection of 140 markers.
So, if you're just tuning in, Jackie, do you want to tell people what we're doing?
Okay, so we are cutting out our colored images. So far on our Paper Doll Art Journal page, we've assembled the background with all the papers, the tree embellishment. We burnished our glitter paper, put the outline stickers down, colored them in. Now we're cutting them out. And so after this, what we're going to do is assemble the doll.
Right. Now, if you want, there is a little trick, right? If you're not the best cutter. So do you want to describe what that would be?
Oh, sure. So now that we have all these cut pieces here, you might start to notice that a little bit of white core from the paper is showing around the image. And I think you can see that pretty well in that camera. So we can actually hide that white core with a black marker by going around the edge. So we're going to get our black Right Art marker.
Should I keep cutting while you're doing that?
Keep cutting.
All right.
Open up your brush tip. And now we're just going to hold the leaf and go around the edge. Now you might want to hold this with tweezers so that you don't get ink on your fingers and then accidentally touch another element. And now we can look at our leaf and we don't see any of that white core showing. Isn't that wonderful?
I think that is one of the best tips ever.
So take your time. Go cut out all your pieces, and then if you want to, you can go around the edges with that black marker.
Yeah, and you know what? We're going along, but you don't have to keep up with us. You could always stop us, play us, replay us, or just kind of get the gist and do it on your own. Follow those written directions, right?
Right.
So this is a stress-free zone because with this virtual, it gives you all these options.
It's very flexible, and I feel like you're getting to see everything up close and personal, whereas in a classroom setting, that is not always the case.
Look what I got done, a rabbit.
Okay, is that Thumper or Daisy?
Well, I don't know. Are we settling on those names?
I haven't seen any other names.
I like them. So I'm okay with that. What about you?
I'm good with it. You know, I've never even named my own pet.
What does that mean?
It means that all of my pets have been named by somebody else.
Because you can never decide. Let's see, Bo kind of had his name, right?
Yeah, the Humane Society gave him that name and I just kept it.
But Thumper was my name.
Yeah.
And then your dad named your dog.
And let me tell you, she thumped.
She did. She liked to thump a lot. When she was upset, thump, thump, thump.
And then, yeah, my dad named my dog. I thought I was getting a girl dog, and then I ended up getting a boy dog, and I didn't have a name for him.
Yep, you were all set. What were you going to name your girl dog?
Kona, like Hawaii and coffee.
That's nice. But your dog has a brother that we never really talk about.
Yep, his name is Zeus. He's a black German Shepherd.
And he's my dog. But truth be known, he really likes my husband better than me. He comes to me when it's time to eat, but when it's time to play, it's not me. I'm not first choice.
Did you know that Zeus was on our Instagram and Facebook the other day?
I did. I saw that.
We're dog people.
We are. I've never had a cat, ever. I think they're cute, but I wouldn't know what to do. I just know how to take care of a dog. All right, I've done all that cutting, Jackie.
All right, and I am doing the edges with the black marker. And it's very awkward at this angle, just so you know.
Do we need to do them all, or are we good?
I'm just going to finish the bunny.
Okay.
You got to be very careful during this step because you don't want any black to get inside of your image. I know I've done that before and I was very disappointed.
Yeah, because if you do try to erase it with the colorless blender, black is a very dark color, right?
It is. And red's also another hard color.
Okay, so we have all these pieces cut. I'm going to kind of sweep them to the side so we can put them down on our sheet. Sound like a plan? So I think we're going to have to zoom out so we could see our sheets. All right. Good?
Okay, looks good.
All right, so the first thing that we could do is get our little cute bunnies. So I'm going to put the one with the ear that's going straight up next to the tree. So I'm going to go ahead, and you do have to use adhesive on our product, right?
Yes, you do.
Maybe I'll put them, you want to put them like this?
Yeah, right there.
Okay. And then we'll put the other one right here. Look like a plan? It's a little different than the sample, but I think it's cute. Not too much different. All right. Now, shall we do our roses?
Let's do our roses. And remember, some are large and some are small. And we have some large stems and some small stems. So
there's one.
We want to match them up.
Where's the other large one go? Right here?
There should be 3 large.
And right here?
Right.
Okay. Aren't those pretty? And you know, I love this color combination. What about you?
I do. So again, that was R03 and Y10.
But I mean, I also like the blue with the peach. Do you?
I do.
All right, so now we have our small and our small. Look how fast it goes once they're all cut. Look good?
Looks great. Now let's do those leaves.
Okay, but I don't want to forget the tail, so shall we do that real fast?
Okay.
That just adds to that bunny, doesn't it? I am loving this. Are you guys loving this?
Yes, so we have a question from Lynn. What do you suggest to cover it up if you do that? I think she's talking about slipping with the black marker.
Okay, so it's a matter of where you put it. Let it dry for a bit, and then, I don't know, it depends where is it exactly? Why don't you give us a little bit more information?
So for example, if it's kind of in a darker area, like on your bunny, you could use more of that dark gray to kind of blend it out, cover it up. That's what I would recommend.
Yes, but if it's like on here, then what you're going to have to do is either live with it or use another rose and just start over. Sometimes starting over is what we do, right?
Been there, done that.
But I'll tell you, as you get practice, it won't happen to you. Another thing you could do if it's really not doing well for you is you could, now I do want to point out, you don't have to have this leaf on here if you don't want. So
the stem.
Yeah, the stem. You could just cut that off as well. What you could do is lay it down on a piece of scratch paper, right? And then go around the edges on your scratch paper so you don't pick it up. Some people do that way. Okay, there's our leaves. What do you think about that?
think that looks good. So now we need that robin, or that little bird.
Yep. Let's put the bird on. I love that we're putting this all together. The bird, just like that. And then we need our dragonflies.
Right.
Okay, so it looks like the large one is going right here. And what about the others?
All right, that's gonna go here and here. So orange and blue.
Okay, and the orange is the guy that I kind of messed up, so I'll make that good in a minute. You can see it's missing a tail.
So it's a butterfly.
Kinda. And then this one right over here. And I believe you have both my tweezers. All right, I kind of saved that little end. Remember, I told you I was going to do that. And I'm going to turn it around and just put it right here. Nobody will know, Jackie.
Woohoo!
All right, I think we got the entire guts down and we're on to the girl.
Okay, so let's get that ready. We're going to put the page off to the side, right?
Yes, but let's admire it for a minute. I want to admire it. Look how cute that is, everybody. It's so pretty. How did you guys do? I hope you enjoyed that because that was fun.
Here's a tip from Chris. She found that if you do it on the back side and you slip it, the black line is on the back and not the front.
Okay. I just can't do that because I will slip onto the front. When I slip to the back of where I'm coloring. Again, I think it's interesting. We all have a different technique, right?
Right.
And if it's really not working for you, I think you could use like a little dauber and an ink pad.
True.
Okay, now I'm ready for you to take that away.
Okay.
Take it away, Calgon.
And here is the chipboard girl, and then we need our outline sticker sheet for the nature girl.
Okay, so if you're new to the paper dolls, the way that this works is, there's a girl that's the entire girl sticker and she's all one piece. So it's going to be a little bit awkward if you haven't done this before, and I'm going to walk you through it on how I do it and how I think it's best. But then you're also going to notice that there's a separate sticker that's a top and a skirt, okay? So these are going to go on different, it's going to go on a pattern paper, but for right now we're going to use the entire long girl to put on this chipboard, okay? So I'm going to start by peeling from the head. And we're going to go down. Now, about this, there are some lines in here that are not hooked together where the arms are, and I'll show you what I mean. Do you see right here these little pieces? So that's because those are like, what do you call that? Armpits, kind of? And they're not hooked, okay? So just pull it up, and same with the dress. Do you see those pieces down there? But that's okay. They'll fall into place. Now, the easiest way that I do this is I like to pick a middle part. So here's the chipboard. I'm going to hold it on the bottom, I'm going to hold it on the top, and I'm going to find a middle part. I'm not going to worry about those dress things. I'm kind of far away.
Yeah, don't worry about the dress.
Can I pull this closer to me? There we go. Okay, so I'm going to do that hand. Do you see the hand there? Now what I like is if you get one part down, a lot of times it'll just go right into play. So I'm going to get to the shoulder. And then look how the head just kind of went on. Did you see that?
I did. Now it looks like your arm pieces are touching on the other side.
Yeah.
Tweezers.
I'm just going to turn. I was just going to get the bottom and then I'll go fix that. So take your time. All right, so Jackie told me that my arm piece is touching. There we go. And I'm not pressing it down yet because I'm just trying to get it to where I want it. Just take your time. If you don't press it down, you can move it around, right? Does that rhyme?
Yep, it sure does.
Don't press it down. Move it around. I'm doing the feet. Once you've done some, I think most of you will agree it's not so hard. It's practice and patience, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, definitely.
But you know, tell them what the best part of doing it this way.
No fussy cutting.
Yeah, no fussy cutting. Okay, I kind of like this leg. I think I'll keep that. So I got to get my other leg the way I want. Okay. And here's another tip. Since we know that we're going to, put the piece over the skirt, sometimes I just crinkle it on. I mean, I don't care because we're going to have another piece, right?
Yeah, so we have a dress piece separately on the sticker sheet where we're going to add this beautiful pattern paper. So we're going to cover up that part of the curl.
You could even cut that part off if you wanted.
You could. So the important parts to line up on this chipboard piece are the face, the hair, the neck, the legs, and the feet.
Okay. I'm pretty happy with that.
All right, so now if you're happy, and you know it, rub your sticker down.
All right, so let's zoom in because now we're going to start coloring.
Did you think I was going to say clap your hands?
Yes.
Okay, zoom in.
All right, for the skin, you can use any color you want. Now, these skin colors are found in our hair and skin set that we offer as a group, right? Or you could buy them individually. So we have WG00 is the lighter color and EOO is the darker. So what you're going to do is you're going to color directly on the chipboard with the lighter color, which was WGOO.
What's WG mean?
What does it mean? Do you know?
I mean, maybe.
Warm gray. Okay, now it looks like we have some skin here for her hand. So we have her face, her neck and chest, and then her legs, right?
Right. Now, even though that means warm gray, this is more of a skin tone. It's a peach.
It is kind of a peach. All right, now that looks good, but if you're somebody who wants to shadow, that's what this EOO is to add some shadows. So you can go in here. Now this is going to be darker, so you're just going to want to be, a little bit where you think that sun or that shade like under your neck is going to be a little darker. We're going to have the sun come this way. And you just want a little bit at a time, okay? There's really no right or wrong, would you agree?
Yeah, so I think you're putting more of like the darker areas where you think the shadow will be, like under her skirt.
And then you want to go back with this light color and you want to kind of get rid of that line. So I'm just kind of going in a circle on the line and then I'm bringing it back. And by the way, it's going to dry lighter than it looks when it's wet. But it just kind of gives it a little bit of something. You don't have to do this part again, but I like to do that, okay? And then look at that. What do you think, Jack?
That looks great. So let's do her hair, or do you want to do blush?
I'm going to do blush. Now to do the blush, I'm going to use this WGOO with RVOO. Do you have RVOO?
No.
It's right here. And this is a very, very light pink. So in order for me not to get a lot of pink on here, I'm going to show you a trick. I like to take my RVOO and mix it with the skin color. And that kind of mutes it down just a little bit.
So the two marker tips are kissing.
And then you can wipe off any of the extra color on a scratch paper. What do you think?
Looks good.
Okay. And there we go. Now we have the hair, right?
Right, so for the hair, we're making it brown with E28 and E18.
Okay, so these two right here.
But you can do any hair color you like.
Yes. So what I like to do is I like to start with my dark, and always at the roots it's a little bit dark.
At least it's not gray.
Yeah. And this is just a personal preference, okay? You could even just do one color. And then I left some white in there, and I'm going to come in with my lighter color.
E28.
I'm just going to fill it in. Squeak. There's that squeak again. What do you think?
Looks really good. So you'll notice that her skin tone was toned down when we added the hair. So the skin part always looks a little scarier when you haven't colored the hair yet. But once you color that hair, it all comes together.
Now, if you have a little bit of white showing up here, take your darker brown and just go along that white. And there. Now it's going to look more put together, right?
Yep. You could even do it with a black if you wanted.
Yep. Okay. There we go.
So now we need to do her shoes and then dress her.
Yeah, so can you do the shoes with the grays? We're going to use CG06, just like the bunnies, and CG02.
You know, you never realize how often you need grays until you start using these markers. Okay, so we're going to do dark first, CG06. And I've got my sample up here so we can see that the shadow's kind of in the upper left. But I'm going to go down the side of the shoe. And I'm going to do both at the same time. Then we're going to take the CG02 light gray and we're going to blend. So try not to cover that up with my hand, but I got to hold her down. So you can do the flicking method or you can work your marker in circles if you want to. And I think I need to add a little more just to get a better blend. I always open the wrong side of the marker.
I know, I watch you do that all the time too. I really like those shoes.
They're like little booties. And don't worry, the shading on here does not have to be perfect. Remember, this is doll art, okay? There we go.
I love it. So there's only one thing left, and that's her dress. Okay.
Right.
So her dress is going to be with this pattern paper here. So what we're going to do is we are going to peel that top and the skirt and put it on the pattern paper. Now, do you think there's a right or a wrong to this pattern paper? It doesn't look like
No.
it to me. So we gave you a really nice large piece so you could kind of decide how you want it when you put the sticker down, where you want the yellow and all that. Okay. So I peeled the top. And how much yellow do we want?
Lots.
Lots. So how about like right in the middle there?
Yep. Right there. Lots of yellow.
Now, one thing I do want to point out when we made the top sticker is that this part here is going to have to be cut out. So you're going to cut up here and down to get that arm here, okay? So same with this side. So we'll do that together, but I do want to tell you that you will be cutting through the sticker up and down, okay? All right, now we need the skirt, right?
Yes, and it's hard to tell that it's a separate piece, but because it looks like a dress. It looks like a dress with a belt.
I know, huh? Now, if these pieces really bother you because it's a sticker, you could always take them out. Or maybe what we'll do is we'll turn it upside down. How do you like that?
Okay.
And we'll just kind of, whoops. And just let it kind of go into play. Just let it go. There we go. See how it just goes right into its natural, way. So that's what I love about the stickers. You just shouldn't force it. Just let it go back, okay? Now we're just going to cut these out and put her together.
Final touches.
I know. Now, if you wanted to, you could color on here, right, Jackie?
You could, yes.
So if I were to add some shadows, I could add either the gray or the yellow and just kind of alter my pattern paper so it had a little bit of shading. Very much up to you.
And by the way, this beautiful paper is from Authentique.
Yeah. All right. Are you going to do your black outline trick?
Okay. Let me find my brush tip. Okay. So while she's cutting out the other part of the dress, I'm going to go around the edges here. There, that was so easy.
Now, I think you should show the opposite side of the paper. It's kind of cool as well.
Okay. Oh, it's a diagonal stripe.
Yeah, so if you wanted to, you could have the top or the skirt an alternate color, right?
I like the yellow.
I'm into yellow too, but I'm just pointing that out.
It matches the roses and the bird.
Yep. All right, so I don't have the neck yet. I'm going to take the neck and cut that.
Okay, do you have any other name suggestions while we're finishing our doll? I only saw one suggestion for the name, and that was Rose. Or let me know, do you like the name Rose?
I like the name Rose. Okay, so remember I told you we need to cut these little parts here because that's where the arm is. So you're going to just come in and literally just cut that part out. Oops, where'd it go? There we go. Not too hard, right?
Not hard at all. I don't think anything we do is hard.
Well, I think people might beg to differ, but it's all about having practice, right?
All right, so now we're going to take our black marker and go around the top carefully, because if you get black on this part, can't really fix it.
But you could try to pull your sticker up and start over.
True.
Or you could just color on the chipboard.
Also true. I'm going to get right in the middle of her arms.
Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn this piece over, the skirt, and it literally just goes right onto the doll here. Same exact spot. Okay. And then we have the top here, which is going to go right there. Isn't that cool? You can see how much the sticker lines really adds when you look at the back, right?
Oh yeah. All right, last piece. Well, we have to add her to our page.
There we go. How nice is that? Yeah.
So
and then to add her, you're just going to turn her over.
And also the nice thing about the chipboard dolls is that it adds dimension just a little bit. It's really thin chipboard, but it brings her forward.
What do you think?
Looks good.
Voila. There we are. Rose.
Doll art journal complete.
Now, one more thing to do, right?
Yep, so you'll see right down here at the bottom, Kara signed this one. So you'll want to add your signature wherever you think is a good spot. You're behind the watering can. There you go. Beautiful. So
Shall
now
we zoom out?
we have another page to add to our doll art journal.
Isn't that nice?
Very nice.
Now, if you love this series, I just want to remind you that it is now available for subscription, so you don't have to worry about not getting your kit and on time. So you can sign up, and how did they do that?
Okay, so on the Krazy Kreations website, you will want to click classes and then click class subscriptions. You'll see that we have one for the doll art journal pages. Click on that, go to the description, and you'll see subscribe now. And so fill out that information and you'll be subscribed. We do process the orders on the 25th of each month, and then the class is the second Saturday of the following month. So, for example, April 25th is when the subscriptions will run, and then the second weekend in May is when we'll do the class.
So another reason you want that is this class did sell out, and then we went ahead and added some this morning to restock, but usually we can't do that if we're out of supplies. So today we were able to, but you want to get your name in by being on the subscription.
Definitely. So now that we've completed our doll art journal page for nature, we have a challenge for you. So your challenge is to sign your page, complete your page, take a picture, and upload it to this Facebook group, Krazy Kreations Virtual Classes.
Oh, we're not using the doll art?
This is in the virtual classes.
Oh.
And you'll want to use a hashtag, NatureGirlChallenge. So we'll put that on the screen for you. And then after 1 week, we're going to pick some winners, random winners, from this hashtag.
So we just started a brand new Facebook group, and it's called
Krazy Kreations Doll Art Groupies.
And I'm going to add to that challenge. If you post this, exactly what Jackie said, not only in the virtual, but in the Facebook group, Doll Art Groupies, you can also win.
Okay, so double win. All right, so don't forget to enter the challenge. You need to complete your page, sign it, and take a picture and post it. All right, well, I think that was such a fun class. I love this girl that we created. We will give a little more time before we officially name her and the bunnies.
But I am leaning toward Rose, Thumper, and Daisy.
Me
Just
too.
to let you know, that's where my vote's going. So give us your ideas, but I'm really loving that.
Me too. So thank you for joining us today at Krazy Kreations for the paper doll art journal class with the Nature Girl. My name is Jackie.
And I'm Kara, and until next time, enjoy your paper doll art crafting.
Stay crafty.